Hello, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first tutorial of SAP ABAP on HANA training, and thank you for choosing ZK Tutorials. Let's get started. So, before understanding the definition of HANA, firstly we will see how the HANA came into the picture. So, we will see the evolution of HANA. So, let's get started with the evolution of HANA. So SAP was started in 1972 by five former IBM employees with a version of creating standard application software for real-time business processing. Okay, so SAP, as the word suggests, stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. SAP creates a centralized system for businesses that enables every department to access and share common data. Okay, so it's an interception. SAP has issued several releases. So first is R2. Okay, so SAP invents ERP. Okay, SAP started this in 70s with first ERP product via SAP R2. Okay, so R means real time, and although there was an R1 also, but that is not registered as the first major release. Okay, so it's a two-tier architecture in which three layers. One is presentation layer, application layer, and database layer are installed on two different servers. On server one, there is presentation layer, and on server two, there is application and database layer. So in R2, we are having only two servers on which these three layers are divided. Like on server one, there is presentation layer, and on server two, there is application layer and database layer. And before that, R1 is what was the R1? So R1 was like on one server only. We was having all the three layers: presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. Okay. Then in 1992, SAP came up with a revolutionary approach of designing the systems with R3. Okay, architecture which we are still using even today. Okay, so it's a three-tier architecture approach in which processing is split across three layers, like presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. Okay. Then after 1992, in 2004, okay, so the client requirements are changing. Okay, so the web is firmly established, and customers are demanding better integration between their business applications and web. Okay, so SAP developed a new integration application platform which is called SAP NetWeaver to enable this. Okay, additionally, a new switch of framework is introduced to allow customers to selectively enable only the new functions developed by SAP in order to avoid disturbance to the core process. Hope it's clear till now. So then in 2015, SAP has launched their HANA. So S4 HANA both use memory and multiprocessor to offer massive computing power. Okay, so SAP started using their own HANA DB on database, which is HANA database. HANA stands for High Performance Analytical Appliances. Okay, which we will see in the next slides. What is HANA? In the depth, we will learn HANA. So transactional as well as analytical processing, OLTP and OLAP, were combined in this system to improve the performance. Okay, so SAP S4 HANA is built on agile method, which confirms continuous improvement in the system. So after this, we will see now the product journey of S4 HANA. How S4 HANA invented, like it's not like in one day they came up with one database and they're installed. It takes multiple years, many years of inventions to come up. Okay, so in 2005, SAP started developing a new wave of application which was built on in-memory database. Okay, but they got to know, they realized like no traditional database had what they needed. What SAP needed is in-memory database. Okay, so SAP started developing their own in-memory database. So in 2011, SAP started developing their own in-memory database and came up with SAP HANA in year 2011. Okay, so is it fine? So they came up with their own database in 2011 because they were checking other databases like Oracle DB, IBM DB, but no database was having in-memory database. Okay, so around 2012, SAP successfully converted its first major application. So in 2014, they have converted their first major application, which was BW, SAP Business Warehouse, to run completely on SAP HANA. This was quickly followed up with the conversion of SAP Business Suite. Okay, so their first application, which was completely running on HANA, was BW, Business Warehousing. Okay, so ensure not to confuse between Suite on HANA, okay, with SAP S4 HANA. Okay, as these are not same. Conversion means the code has been adjusted to work with HANA and also to take advantage of some basic optimizations. Okay, then finally in 2015, SAP started from scratch and rewrote the complete SAP Business Suite natively to run only on HANA, only on SAP HANA. Unlike Suite on HANA, SAP S4 HANA is a brand new code line which works only on SAP HANA. So is it clear till here to everyone? Okay. So next topic is, who is this course for? Like whether am I eligible to learn this course, or like is there any prerequisite to learn this course? So to be very honest, we just need SAP knowledge. Okay, basic SAP knowledge if we have, then it will be fine for us. And also good also if we have some basic ABAP knowledge, because some are part of this course focus completely on ABAP programming, or which is new ABAP syntax. Of course, if you are not an ABAP developer, do you think this course is not for you? You are absolutely not. Okay, this course is also applicable if you are a non-ABAP background or if you are from ABAP background. Okay, you came from BW background or you came from UX background. Okay, or you came from UI background. Altogether, this is a new step. Okay, so for about 20 to 25% of this course is only on ABAP side developers, but still 70 to 75% of this course is still new for even ABAP developers. We got to move a smart move. Okay, it is designed for developers. Of course, my first priority will be developers, the people who love coding, people who love to learn new things, people who like to try out new things, architects, solution expert, BW consultant, because not too much opportunities are towards BW side now, and also for technical consultants. Okay, and of course, this course will going to make a great value in your career. Okay, so everything is clear till here. Okay, so before going to the HANA part, firstly we'll see what is R3. Okay, R3 architecture. So as the word R stands for real time. So real time architecture. So let's see. This is our presentation layer. Which is nothing but our SAP GUI. Okay. Then we are having our application layer. And at the last, we are having our database layer. Okay. So this is our database layer. Okay. So this is our presentation layer, typically your SAP GUI. And then we have our application layer, which is nothing but your NetWeaver platform, where we allow to execute your ABAP code and also the different variety of ERP. And finally comes up your database layer. Okay, and this is all your three-tier architecture. Okay, let's make a second. This is our three-tier architecture. Okay, now over the period of time, there is like three-tier architecture evolved very fast. What is actually changed or what is changing in this architecture? Okay, so all those three layers are evolving. So the very first change in your is your start from the foundation of the building. You will see here the database layer, okay, where we can plug any type of data. Most preferably, your company was using either IBM DB or Oracle DB, but most of the systems are so-called RDBMS, which is Relational Database Management System. Okay, they tend to keep all the data in the hard disk, and whenever you store the data in the hard disk, in order to process to bring the data from hard disk to the RAM, and then from RAM to computer hard disk, which is so called the CPU. So ultimate process is depending on how you fetch the data to process. Okay, so the main bottleneck movement is between hard disk and RAM because memory cost is very expensive. Okay, so this we will see more in the coming lectures. Okay, so three-tier architecture leads to highly scalable system. Okay, the system can support any number of unlimited servers, any number of servers. Okay, so if I will sum up this R3 architecture, so this is our presentation layer where we interact with SAP's user interface, also known as SAP GUI, which is SAP Graphical User Interface. With SAP GUI, users interact with SAP systems and access SAP application. Okay, presentation layer communicates with application layer. This presentation layer will communicate with application layer. So SAP logo need to be installed on client to access the SAP GUI. Okay, then our application layer. So it holds all SAP ERP application to meet various business functions. Application layer provides environment to execute, okay, SAP applications as well as ABAP code. Application layer communicates with database layer to process data as per requested. So database layer is where all the persistent data is stored. The DB consists of RDBMS database. In RDBMS, data is stored in tables. So table consists of fields or columns and holds data in pro format. Okay, so hope everything is clear till here. So now let's move to the next part for which everyone is here, which is introduction to SAP HANA. What's the word HANA stands for? Like as the word suggests only, HANA stands for high performance analytical appliances. Okay, and 1 second. Okay, so SAP HANA is an in-memory database. Now, okay, so how HANA data? So what is HANA? HANA is, as of now, just learn. HANA stands for High Performance Analytical Appliances, and SAP HANA is an in-memory database. So how HANA database is different from another databases, another previous traditional database? How it's different? So HANA database is different from other databases. Okay, so it is different from traditional databases because those databases relies on DBMS. Okay, on DBMS. Okay, which keeps which keeps all the data to hard disk drive. Okay, hope it's clear now. So what is the difference between other databases and HANA databases? Like other databases completely relies only on DBMS, which keeps all the data onto the hard disk drive. But here HANA DB, which puts the data in memory. Okay, so what was the previous scenarios was? Okay, so let's make one. image for you. So this is nothing but your CPU. Then our primary memory. Okay. Then at the last we are having this secondary memory. Hard disk drive, or you can say. Okay. So whenever we start our computer, a booting process takes place which loads our operating system from hard disk to RAM. Okay. From hard disk to RAM. 1 second. Okay, so whenever we start our computer, what happens? A booting process takes place which loads our operating system from hard disk to the RAM. And after that, when we want to do some computation, then it has to bring all the data from RAM to CPU. Okay, from RAM to CPU, it has to bring all the data. Okay, so this is what traditional way of computer. So in RDBMS, system fetches all data from hard disk. Okay, in traditional in RDBMS, system what system do? It fetch all the data from the hard disk and then put it in the RAM. Okay, and from there CPU processes it, and calculations are being carried out in terms of data flow. Okay, is it fine? So SAP HANA stands for High Performance Analytical Appliances, and SAP HANA is an in-memory, or in addition you can say it's an in-memory column-oriented, okay, relational database management system, and which process a massive amount of data very quickly. Now the question comes is, when SAP HANA, when HANA is an in-memory database, then why we are calling it as an appliance? Okay, so then why they don't have a HANA as a software? Why they don't call HANA as a software or database? Okay, why they just call it as an appliance? Because why? Because it's just not a database. It's a combination of both hardware and software. Hardware and software. Okay, it's just not just by installing HANA in any computer. Okay, it's not like directly you will install HANA in your system. It will, but it needs a specialized hardware and software together. That's the reason it's called as an appliances. So your interviewer can question you, hey, why HANA is not why HANA is just not called as a database or a software like other Oracle, MySQL softwares. Okay, database, because it's just not a software, because it HANA is a combination of specialized hardware and software together. Okay, so I hope it's clear. So in today's world, the lightweight HANA available, which is HANA Express Edition. Okay, HANA Express Edition. Okay, so this is the most lightweight HANA version which is available today in the market, and it needs minimum of 16 GB of RAM in your computer to run this HANA Express in your system lightweight. That's why we call it as an appliance, because HANA is just not the hardware, it's a combination of both hardware and software. Hope everything is clear now. Okay, so now let's move. Like what made HANA possible? Okay, what made it possible? What was the use? Okay, so HANA, so it was actually basically two things. One is hardware and another is software. So, let's first see hardware. Okay. Uh, One second, guys. Is it visible? Okay. So first is hardware. So what made it possible? So hardware is reduction in memories. Okay, in memory cost. Okay, and second is able to fabricate more memory in a small space, which is nothing but a data compression. Okay, and third is able to compose multiple CPU cores on a single blade. Okay, faster throughput times. Okay, so these are all the innovations which have made the HANA advancement in the industry. Okay, and the second is which is powerful backup system. Okay, backup systems. So because as you know, if you are using the data, if okay, if the data is in memory, if the power goes off, so the powerful backup system which can supply you the uninterrupted power supply. So they are also responsible for putting the data in the safe state. Okay, so is it fine hardware type? Okay, so the next innovation is software innovation. Okay, and so software in terms of operating system, okay, OS which is operating system. Operating system. Okay, so operating systems are now capable of submitting high number of requests to CPU, and CPU can process them in parallel. So OS are now capable of submitting high number of requests to CPU, and CPU can process them in parallel. Okay. Then we have high compression of data. So we can compress our data in 1 second. Higher compression of data. So we can compress our data in a small size. Suppose 24 GB of data I want to store, and the data I want to compress in much better way, and I maybe need only 8 GB of space to store 24 GB of data. So there are compression algorithm in the market which allows us to compress the data and allows us to store it in compressed form without having too much of overhead system. Then comes in the way you store, which is the way you store. So the traditional databases store the data in the raw store format, but with SAP HANA, the default store is column store. So now what is row store and column store? We will learn this in the next slides. This will be going to be very interesting one. So you will be now store the data in so from HANA in HANA database. You will be now store the data in column store format. That gives you, of course, better benefit. The another this is keeping all the data in RAM, increases the speed. Then you can calculate the aggregations on fly. Okay, and able to utilize the system with its maximum size. So these are all the some innovations which happened in the market. Okay, so we will see the difference between the row store and column store. Okay, and here one thing I told you, like high compression data. Like here I told you, like in market some compression algorithms are available. So guys, you don't need to understand the algorithm with which we store data on row or column. Just need to understand sense row versus column store. The processing, the way HANA does this processing of storing it internally, does all it's at their own. So you don't need to learn how to store in row or in row and column. That's internal to HANA. HANA will take care of it. Okay. So but you just need to know the concept of row versus column store. So we will see that in the next lecture. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye.